Hi guys and girls, Mike Senior from 2 High PSI, and in today's video we're going to cover how to update the firmware in your MOTIV ReFlex controller. To start with, we'll go ahead and run over to the 2 High PSI website. We'll click on the Tech Center, go to Reflex Downloads, and here we'll find where our latest firmware versions are available. The current one we have out is 6.8. We'll go ahead and click on that. It'll take us to some links towards the bottom of the page here. This one we'll need is the software for the box and the Tuner Pro. We'll go ahead and download that. We'll also need the MOTIV bootloader, which we click on this, it'll take us to a Dropbox. The only thing we're going to have to do once we hit this Dropbox is simply go up to the top right here and push the download. The link will take care of everything else. You don't have to sign in. You could just go to the bottom here and say continue with download only. And that should go ahead and get that. We have that. So we'll go back. And finally, we need the actual firmware for the box, the hex file. And you're either going to have a box that's $4.99 and below, which are boxes that are over a year old, and then 5,000 higher, which are generally about a year old at this point. So if you bought it in the past year or added to the car, you're going to find it in this arena. So go ahead and click. The box I have on my bench here is a newer box, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. While I'm here, I'll go ahead and grab the $4.99 as well. If you don't know which box you have in the car, let's say it's put in the fender well somewhere you can't find it, can't see the serial number, don't have the original box from it to see what the serial number is, you can simply download them both and guess how old it is, upload that one. If it doesn't work, you simply upload the other one. And we'll talk about that shortly here as we're flashing the boxes. Okay, so we should have the software we need. Let's go ahead, head over to our downloads folder. So we can see the two hex files there that I downloaded, and we see the bootloader and the software versions. First thing we have to do with any of these files once we download them is we have to extract them all. So we'll go ahead, we'll hit the extract all, we'll extract that bootloader. That one's done. Same with the software version here. We will extract all that. Bring that one over here. Extract that. Okay, once we have both those files extracted, we can see the folder changes. We know they're not a zipped file anymore. I'm going to go ahead and delete the zip file just by accident. That way I don't use the zip file, because in some of the softwares, it will let you open that zip file and actually pick the file that's correct. The problem being, once you pick it, it actually won't work. It won't either load into Tuner Pro or it won't run the bootloader the way it's supposed to run. So now that everything's undone, we're going to start with our bootloader right here. So we'll open that folder, go down and get a hold of the actual executable here. Once we open this up, it's going to bring a small window up. The bootloader is just a little application like this. Now, once you do this, the key should be off on the car. It doesn't matter if it's on, you're going to have to shut it off because the box has to be powered down when it goes into bootloader firmware mode. So the device says not detected. So what I'm going to do is I have the USB connected. I'm going to go ahead and power the box off. And then I'm going to go ahead and power the box. I heard it disconnect there. Now I'm going to go ahead and power it back up. And once I do, you should see device attached, connecting, device ready. Once you have this, you simply need to open the folder you're looking for, the image you're looking for. So I push that open folder. I'm going to use over 5,000 on this one. And as we said earlier, if you're not sure what the box is, you could try the over 5,000 first. Or if you're sure it's an older box, start with the over less than 4,000, 49.99 first. If it's not correct, when you go to Tuner Pro, the box will not connect. And I'll kind of tell you there also when it would be that. And if that's the case, just come back, connect it back to the bootloader again, and flash the other firmware into it. The bootloader will pretty much, I've never seen a bootloader not connect to the box. So if you have power coming on and you have USB, the bootloader will work. Okay, so we have the file opened. Now we're going to push the right button, which is right here. Erase, program, verify. You also have this last button, which is reset device. If you push that, it will just essentially erase device and won't put anything back in it. So you don't really need to use that button for anything. This is really the most important one right here. And we'll go ahead and hit that. It'll take about 10 seconds here for us to get this firmware updated into the box. All right, all done. It says erase programs completed successfully. You may now unplug or reset the device. When you see that, all you want to do is you don't want to turn the key off. You simply want to disconnect the USB cable from the laptop. When I pull this off, you'll hear it beep there. So I disconnected the USB cable. At that point, with the device detached, let's go ahead and close the bootloader. We don't need that anymore. We can go ahead and plug the box back in. Just plug the USB back in, and you hear it when it came back in. And then at that point, we'll go to Tuner Pro. Now, Tuner Below here I have is completely empty. I didn't save anything from this. So what we'll do is we can go ahead to load the XDF, because we'll need to use the latest XDF and the ADX that are downloaded for this firmware. Okay, so go ahead and open this XDF. We'll hit select XDF right here, bring it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over to my downloads folder. Once I get to my downloads, I see the Reflex Plus software folder here. I will open that up, and there's my version 683 XDF. So let's go to open that one. For the ADX, we had to do the same thing, load the definition file. It's already taken me back to the same folder I was in, so I'm all ready to go with the 683 ADX. Open those up, and now we should have what we need to be able to connect to the box. So we push the connect button, and we see at the bottom here, hardware plus version 683. So the firmware has been updated to the 683. That will help us to low. A lot of people see this not emulating box here. I've never seen this not say that. It always says not emulating. So I don't pay any attention to this box at all when you're trying to use this software. Once you get in there, you'll need your bin file. I don't see any bin selected here, so let's go ahead and download the bin from the box, because we didn't really want to change anything with the software. We just want to make sure the bin will work with this new firmware. So I'm going to download the bin. Once the bin's in there, let's see if I open up the patch. And on this one, it says patch applied, because this box has already got the latest stuff in it. But what you have to do is if you had another XDF that wasn't the same thing, I'll go ahead and mess up something in this one quickly just so we can see what it would look like and apply the patch. Put a number in there. I know that will do nothing to work. So now if I go ahead and run the patch, you'll see current patch is not patched. So when we push the apply patch button, push apply, it will basically fix this file. If it's an older file, a 52 or a 63, it'll fill in all the values for the new items that have been added to the bin file. Because as we add new features, that bin file grows bigger. And as it grows bigger, those values will automatically be 0. And there's some features I can tell you for sure. If you're to 6.3 file and you go to 6.8, the box will not inject fuel anymore again unless you do the patch right there. Once the patch goes in, it'll set those values that need to be placed, and then everything will work the same to however you had the car set up previously. So that's about it. Once you have that, once it's patched, I'll verify again. Yep, it is patched. We'll apply that. I'll generally save this file as something version 68, so you know which file you should be using from going forward there. Simply push the upload button to send the file back into the box now with the updates from that patch, and you're essentially ready to run again. So if you have any questions, you're always welcome to give us a call, and we'd be happy to help you out with any minor things you run into along the way. And thanks for buying products from 2 High PSI. We appreciate it. Catch you soon in the next video.